Recording. Now we are recording. Hello, people.
Hello,
How do you do?
everybody. Hello, everybody.
So it's just me and Amy finishing off Wonder Woman 84 because, as is traditional of the DC film so far, David has been broken just like Ilario.
Yeah, this film broke him. No, we're just kidding. He's just busy at the moment.
Ah, but that reason was so much cooler though, because it feels like the
I
DCU
know.
is
Like,
constantly
it's
killing off our
broken.
guests. Like they can't
Oh my
handle more than
God.
6.5 hours.
Law. The law. It's like Defense Against the Dark Arts teachers in Harry Potter. They just can't last.
Wait, so what does that make the two of us in that context?
I don't know. I can be Dumbledore, and I don't know. You could be. Who
Who
could
could
you
I
be?
be?
Do you want to be McGonagall? She can turn into a cat. I'm kidding.
I'll be Hagrid, just living in my hut by
Okay.
myself.
Yep. Just chilling.
Yeah, with my pet dragons and all that going on. I'll be Hagrid.
Yeah. That's a that's a good choice.
Right, so we've got 30 minutes left of this abomination left to go. Are you excited?
Oh no.
Well,
Uh,
hopefully.
I'm excited to be done with it because this movie is just awful.
Yeah. Well,
Like like when people are like, "Oh, this movie's bad," I'm like, "Okay, fair enough. Maybe there's something they don't like about it." But like, I have not heard one person say anything positive about this movie, and I've looked through YouTube because I was like preparing myself for how actually bad it is, and it was like nobody has anything good to say,
oh,
and that's
actually,
impressive. I
actually, there
haven't
is
found
one.
one yet, anyway.
Um,
All right.
I watched a video by High Top Films that was positive towards
Oh.
this film, and none of his reasons are good. So make of that what you will.
Oh. Fair enough.
Right. Let me just tweak the audios just in case we end up peaking. But
Okie dokie.
alrighty then. So where we left off was the extended chaos in front of the White House, and things are not looking well whatsoever.
Oh no, people rioting, y'all.
Yeah.
Down.
It's
Sorry, my
like,
cat was on the table.
oh, okay, fair enough. It's like when you line up a Sears and you find out that the sausage rolls are sold out. Like that level of writing is going on
Oh,
right now.
yes, I feel that. I know that feeling.
Oh, it's like that's the only thing we go there for. It's just, oh,
Exactly.
incompetency. That's what it is.
Like rude. Yeah.
But it has just about the same amount of stake, so I guess it's appropriate. So, I reckon we'd be able to get through a lot of this really quickly because we've spoken about most of the retarded stuff.
Yeah.
And most of the rest that's coming up is going to be action related and only like 2 or 3 hardcore story moments, quote unquote, in
Yeah.
the loosest of sense.
Yeah, pretty much. Ugh.
Right. So, Diana and Steve are walking through this post-apocalyptic hellscape that has come about in Washington, D.C. And just like in the first film, we get to see just how much of a hero Steve is because he's like, look, Diana,
Yeah.
I can save today, but you can't save tomorrow. All over again, but a lot less earned,
Literally.
impressively enough.
Oh, yeah. It's also a lot for like selfish reasons. It's like, oh, you have to let me go so you can have your powers. Not because I'm in someone else's body.
Yeah, once again,
Oh my
Harry.
God, film.
Once again, Harry is never a part of this equation. Like, only during the inciting moment when they find out, oh, Steve is back, and when it's Jingle All the Way again. Those are the only
Yep,
times the film recognizes Harry as a person.
literally.
So,
It's like, why did you put him in there if he was not going to serve a purpose? I just can't wrap my head around it. I genuinely want to talk to Patty Jenkins and be like, what went through your mind? What possessed you to make this choice?
Maybe that's it.
I'm
Maybe it was possession.
confused. Were you possessed?
uh, but yeah, see, this moment could have worked. It could have.
Yeah.
Only the stipulation is that it could have only worked if it was in fact Steve and not, Harry with Steve inside of
Yeah.
him.
It's a lot less emotional impact because it's like he's in someone else's body, so you kind of need to give this other person's body back. You can't really just expect Steve to just chill in another dude's body forever.
Absolutely,
Kind
yeah.
of mean. So, like, when it's like, oh, you have to give him back, we're kind of like at this point, we're like, yeah, duh. No, duh.
It's kind
It's
of
kind of the only choice there.
yeah. Like Wonder Woman is perfectly happy to dismiss a human consciousness into the ether so that she can have her boy toy. Oh.
Yeah. It's like, ew, what are you doing to Wonder Woman?
And
Just
Steve,
no.
the hero that he is, just goes, okay, even though even he doesn't acknowledge Harry, at least he's thinking, look, Dan, I've already lived. Just let me go, alright? I want to go back to heaven where things are chill.
Yeah. I don't want to be in a riotty place anymore. Just
Yeah.
let me go. What one thing I found really funny about the scene is the way that it's like, oh, this is so emotional, and literally from behind a wall, Steve's like, I love you, Diana. I just couldn't stop laughing because I was just like, that's so funny.
Oh.
Why?
But you know
the
what, though?
choice.
Like, even then, even after she renounces her wish, we don't ever get to see what happens to Harry or
No.
Steve. They just disappear behind a wall before she goes on to her epic running moment. But
Yeah.
imagine if Harry wakes up in this moment going, what the fuck is happening right now?
That's probably what happened. But we're not supposed to care about Harry, so we can't show him.
Oh yeah, of course, like men are completely unimportant in this film, as we have already established.
Clearly.
Oh, Harry is our poster boy. Oh my god, imagine
Harry was wronged.
imagine if we get a whole film with Harry, him through college, getting his architectural job, and then all of a sudden he's blinked out of existence, coming back into this moment. It's an interesting story there.
It turns into a straight up horror movie there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then imagine if this was during the week where his partner was out doing business somewhere in a different country or something like that, and he's trying to explain, look, I had a weird fucking week, bro. And
Yeah.
like the boyfriend or girlfriend's just like, what?
No, but legit, if he tried to tell somebody about that, like they'd be like, right, send him to a mental hospital right now.
Yeah,
And again,
absolutely.
it turns up into a straight horror narrative because everyone's like, he's just crazy, and it's like, no, someone literally possessed me.
Oh, genuinely. Like, I'm up for petitioning Harry to be our podcast mascot. He deserves so much better.
Harry, yeah, someone deserves.
Like, with each progressive podcast episode, like, the lore of the Harry gets expanded further and further.
We just like, we just have like a little break of here's what Harry's been up to. Like story we've made up for him.
Yeah, it's like the expanded What We Watch lore where we've got AD and OD going on together, and then we've got Harry in the background waving, saying hello. We've gone off on a tangent again, but it's far more enjoyable.
Oh yeah, people make some fan art of Harry and send it in to us.
Oh god,
No
can
one's
you
watching,
imagine?
but oh well.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That'd be really funny if people started just like posting in the comments just pictures of Harry.
I've already finished the thumbnail for this episode, and it's just Harry smiling. It's just, oh,
Yes.
this is the Harry we deserve, but the Harry we never got. Oh, right. So you remember in one of the previous episodes, me and David were like, oh yeah, there's this moment that is just really weird that comes out of nowhere where Wonder Woman is flying and music from Sunshine comes along.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was so
So
weird.
that was the temp track.
One of them.
Because I didn't like know. I noticed like it sounded like a boneless version of her like theme tune, and I was so disappointed because that was like literally one of the only things I liked about the first movie. And I was like, "You've screwed that up, film."
Yeah, genuinely, like, it's...
But I couldn't like tell 10 tracks, but
No, that's fine, because...
I believe that they're there. I just didn't notice them.
No, because you usually wouldn't, because what a temp track is for is so that you can pitch a version of the edit to investors and stuff like that, so you can get money to finish the job. But here, they just left it in, and I'm like, oh, maybe it was on purpose, and that makes it even more baffling.
Yeah, they're like, oh, the temp track's good enough. Job done. Millions of money on this. Just, yeah, it's fine.
But it's like, the original track is Adagio in G minor, I think, and it's by John Murphy. And you know the film Sunshine by Danny Boyle?
I do. I haven't watched it in a while, though, so I that's probably why I didn't recognize it.
Like, if I'm not mistaken, Adagio in D minor by John Murphy is the exact same song that was playing in Sunshine while Chris Evans was dying of fucking frostbite in that film. If I'm not mistaken, that's the music that plays there. And they use it here to have Wonder Woman flying.
As you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she was flying, I was like, I am not getting happy vibes from this. You're making it sound like flying is sad.
But it's like, oh, she figures out how to fly because Steve told her to listen to the wind or some shit like that. So, it's like...
That's ridiculous.
So, now we're out of continuity because she doesn't fly in BVS or Justice League, so well done, Patty. Continuity my ass.
Yeah, also she has to fly on a plane, doesn't she, in Batman vs Superman?
She doesn't fly, period. They introduced the plane in this one. Sure. So, yeah, she starts flying, and incredibly enough, like, if AIM hears this, yay. Oh my god, that was fast.
I just dropped my headphones, that's all. I was like, I can't hear you!
Oh, right, fair enough. But I was literally going to say that I love the fact how it takes Superman longer to figure out how to fly in Man of Steel than it takes Diana in this film. And I'm like, wow, that's actually kind of impressive. We're just stacking powers.
You need to listen to the wind.
Listen to the wind. Trust your gizzard, boy. Oh, fucking hell. Like, very different film. But...
Oh, I.
She just starts flying and using her lasso to just propel herself forward, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm confused, and my mind is somewhere else entirely because of the music.
Very, very janky.
I think janky is insulting towards the word jank itself.
Yeah.
And this flying scene goes on for a fairly long time.
And also, Diana just looks really weird. Like, it just looks like she's just doing model poses.
That's her through most of this film, to be fair.
This is true, but it's more noticeable at this point. And then she does a flipping Superman, like, sticks her fist out kind of thing, and I was like, what are you doing? You're not Superman.
Yeah. It's like, there was a point in time in the comics where Wonder Woman did fly, but she has not. Last time I checked, at least, it's been a while since I've read any new comics because they're mostly garbage anyway. but she hasn't flown for decades. But I guess she flies now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I'm pretty sure.
Steve that helped her fly. I'm just gonna Google how does Wonder Woman fly in the comics.
Um, she used to fly just without the plane or anything like that, just like Superman. And then they've got the invisible jet as well. So
Oh, apparently she during the Silver Age of comics this was apparently she discovered an ancient Amazonian technique that involves gliding using the air current. I'm sorry, what?
I guess that's what she used here with Steve's help.
Yeah. I do want to know the what someone says. Oh, apparently for in the film, it's because she uses the wind and air, learning how to ride it and catch it.
Oh. On that note, have you seen that film, Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole?
Yes. Yes.
You remember how often they said, "Trust your gizzard, boy. Flow with the wind." And I can just imagine Jeffrey Rush next to her going, "Flow with the wind, boy." And Wonder Woman just giving him shifty looks, going, "What the hell are you doing?"
Huh?
Very different film.
Oh,
Also,
then it
Zack
gets
Snyder
better.
film.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
I was like, oh, it gets worse as well because then she starts lassoing clouds.
Oh my
She's
god.
turned into Spider-Man now, apparently. That's the thing.
It doesn't matter about the weight and density of the object slash material. All that matters is that it is something and the lasso can just grip onto it.
Makes total sense. I mean, I could probably ignore that if it was at least cool to look at, but it just looked weird.
Yeah,
And also just like they were trying really hard to make her look like Spider.
genuinely, when I first watched it, I thought she, like, I didn't even clock onto the fact that, oh, she was grabbing onto the cloud. I thought, wait, hang on, what was the last, like, did she use the point of stopping to propel herself forward? Like, that makes no sense. Like, I was well confused on what
Yeah.
happened. It was only after the fact it's like, oh, it was a cloud. Okay, that makes about as much sense as my one.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, what's going on? You
Uh,
already just made her fly, and now you're making her lasso herself forward. And it's like either she can fly or she can't.
yeah.
Confused. I am confusion.
Like Wonder Woman 1984. What is happening? Oh.
Explain yourself. And the movie's just there shrugging like, I don't even know anymore, dude.
But then we get to Barbara and Max talking about powers, and Max is not in a good way. But he says, "Oh, I'm feeling generous. What do you want?" And she says, "I want to be the apex predator." And I'm like,
It just comes out and like, okay,
okay, so
sure.
in my messed up mind, I was thinking, "Ooh, apex predator." So an orca, like in Free Willy. And I was like, because that's an apex predator. I mean, technically humans are apex predators depending on the food chain. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of interpretation for apex predator. So, like,
Yeah, I feel like they threw that in there to be like, you're cheetah now. You're gonna ask to be an apex predator, and it's gonna turn you into a cheetah.
yeah. And I'm just imagining there's a alternate reality of this film where she just outright turns into an orca in the building and then just drowns to death there. And I'm like, drowns to death on air. And I'm like, well, that was unfortunate. Just doing a full-on Free Willy, but not succeeding.
Yeah. I do love how like we don't even get to see her turn into cheetah. We don't see the transformation or anything. It's just like you're an apex predator now. Boom. I mean, she gets like he sort of like later on does like throw powers at her kind of, but that's all we get. We don't see
Do you know what?
the literal
Honestly,
transformation.
I'm kind of glad that they did not, because based on the quality of the film so far, it would have been so
That's
bad.
probably why. That's probably why we didn't get a transformation. We just got we have a CG Kristen Wiig for you. Ta-da!
Yeah, because they're like, oh, this looks terrible. Let's just cut it.
Yeah.
So next, they arrive at the island base of whatchamacallit, and they start doing the Riddler plan from Batman Forever, transmitting himself all over the world onto all the TV screens of the world. And everyone starts wishing.
Yeah, sure.
And it's weird because, like, okay, so you got like a population of, like, at the time, I guess it would have been like 4-5 billion people in 1984, give or take. And I'm like, that's a lot of people with a lot of TVs and a lot of wishes coming in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the wishes that we get are so shallow and so maniacally evil. And I'm like, imagine if we had that one where it's like, oh, I wish my dad's cancer went away.
Yeah, or my wife's cancer, or my children's cancer.
Yeah, it's like, imagine how much of a, well, conflicting moment you would have, because there's one woman going, oh, the truth is beautiful, and then Max is like, good.
Yeah, we get to that later. With all the wishes, it seemed to be literally they just showed all the diabolical wishes. And it was just like, I'm sorry, not all people would just wish for horrible things like this. Like, I'm pretty sure, one person literally goes, I wish you were dead. And I was just like, whoa, film, chill.
Funny you mentioned that, because look at where I'm paused.
Oh no, it's like... And also, I wish Irish would just go back to came from. I was like, why did she pick on the Irish? Does Patty Jenkins have something against Irish people? Nah. I was just very confused why that was there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the world like, wasn't falling apart already.
I mean, I was like, are you trying to suggest that, all people are bad?
All the Irish should go back,
there must
that's
have
what I
been
say.
A couple of wishes out there that weren't selfish. It's like, I wish to be famous, I wish to be king, I wish to be... I don't know. Wish to be richer, I wish I wasn't poor anymore. Stuff like that.
But it's like, I wish to be famous, like... Famous for what, though? Like, that sounds like such a shallow wish, It's like, oh, I wish to be famous. I mean, to be fair, she was just going off the cuff because she didn't even think it was real, so... Fair enough.
Well, she just kind of shrugged and went, I wish I was famous. Oh, I'm famous now. Like, I imagine a lot of people probably went, yeah, sure. I wish I had £1 million. Oh my god, hello.
Yeah. It's like that moment in Death Note where Light just goes, well, a Death Note, yeah, right. And then just writes a name out of curiosity. Like,
what's the name? I was like, oh, they're dead.
But imagine if it was treated in that same way as Death Note, where, it's like, oh, so really a wish? Alright, and then you just wish for something. It's like, oh, wow, this is an actual thing. But now that's just a different film altogether now, isn't it?
Yeah. Bruce Almighty did something like that, and it did it much better.
Oh my god, yes. Another Jim Carrey film that we're comparing this to, but also done better.
Exactly. Literally, because he tries to give everyone their wishes, and it leads to utter chaos, and it's just done so much better. Because he's like, oh crap, I actually need to stop giving people wishes. And, like, there's a whole interesting conversation about you shouldn't be giving people what they want all the time, because it's a bit, like, kind of messed up.
Yeah, it breaks the balance of the world. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So that conversation he has with Morgan Freeman afterwards is like, holy shit, like, and talking about just the nature of giving everything that you want, like, it's so much, like, considering it's a fucking screwball comedy, like, it handles that subject matter so much better.
Yeah, it do be, like, quite philosophical for a comedy.
Absolutely, and plus you've got Morgan Freeman
I like it when that happens, though. Yeah. That was probably the best casting choice I've ever seen.
I mean, he wasn't even acting, was he? He's like, yes, I am God, and
Yeah. There are two people who I really like playing God. It's Morgan Freeman and Steve Buscemi. They just make really good gods.
oh God, yeah, Steve Buscemi, yeah. I still have to see that show.
It's so good. It's really funny. But yeah, we've gone off on a tangent here talking about a better piece of media.
Yeah. But we're moving swiftly, actually, because
Yeah,
right
we
now we're
are.
going through all the physicaltism that's going on. So, not. um, like I said, we've only got like 2 or 3 major things to talk about before we're really done. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, Wonder Woman is still fucking flying, by the way. All this is
Yeah,
happening.
they just up there vibing with their sad music.
Legit, when I was watching this with my parents, my mother's like, "Oh my gosh, bitch is still flying," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like, because my mom gets really invested in stories, like so much so that she
Your
will
mum sounds awesome.
like she will shout at the screen when a character's just doing something retarded, and she's like, "For God's sake, Wonder Woman, quit crying and do something!" And I'm like, "Jesus Christ." Most of the time, me and my dad just watch her. It's much more entertaining than most films we watch.
My mum's funny when watching films because she has whenever there's like a historical inaccuracy, she will yell at the TV and it's rather funny. Like I think when I watched How to Train Your Dragon with her, she was like, Vikings were not Scottish and it was just so funny.
I mean, in that same vein, in 300, Greeks were not Scottish either. So, 300 is a funny film. I love it.
It is.
Oh,
Oh,
but
Mikey quoted it one time. He was like, "This is madness," and I was like, "Have you watched 300 without me knowing?" And he was like, "No." I think he just heard it somewhere, and I was like, "Okay, you can watch that film when you're a bit older."
oh, Mikey mentioned it.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I explained to him. I was like, "Oh, that's from a film called 300, but you can't watch it yet because you're just a kid." And he was
Maybe
like,
when you're
"That's fair."
12.
Yeah, he was like, "Maybe when I'm a bit older," and he'll just give me a number.
uh, yeah, football wise, like me and my dad used to always go, "This is Anfield," because that's where Liverpool plays, and I'm like, yeah. Like 300 is just one of the manliest films I've ever seen, and it's just so funny. I love it.
Yeah, my dad rather enjoyed it when he watched it.
Oh. Anyway,
Back to this trash fire.
yeah. So one woman goes home to get her bright, shiny armor.
I feel like this was all just an excuse to be like, costume change. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, it's not like there's anything that warrants her attention at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mad because while Max is giving all the wishes, he's going, "Oh, I'll take that from you, that from you, that from you," and I'm like, can he actually see the people, or is it just metaphorical? Because that's very omnipotent shit you're doing right there, Max.
Yeah.
And also, like, I think we spoke about it in the last one or the previous episode where we're like, why did Max end up giving cat features to Kristen Wiig? I mean, like, how
Yeah.
did he take it in the first place?
Yeah, like did he just go, you secretly like furry things. I'm gonna take you and throw you in it.
I'm gonna take your love for furries and put it as a physical embodiment in her. It's like,
I'm gonna
whoa.
take your thing and throw it onto her.
God, imagine if it was like, I will take your body pillow that's of a furry and give it to Kristen Wiig. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, I don't get that either, but it's like, okay, sure.
Oh.
I take your vitality and give it to her, and I take your health and blah 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 and give it to her. It's just
Yeah, I'll take your
make
kidneys.
her healthier and more vitality.
I mean, she's already plenty healthy and vital. full of
Yeah.
exuberant enthusiasm, energy stuff.
Yeah.
Because she's Wonder Woman now.
Yeah. Was he granting wishes to animals as well or something?
I don't know. And it's like, what were the animals asking for? Could they understand him to begin with? How could foreign people understand
Yeah.
Max? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah. It's just like this is weird.
And then you
And
got
it goes on for so long that it gives you time to literally question it.
yeah, like it gives you the chance to go to the kitchen, make a cup of tea, come back, and it's still going.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's still making wishes for people.
Yeah.
Oh, more cup of tea.
And then his kid
I think
is.
I
Oh, go on.
oh, I was gonna say, I think I made about like 3 cups of tea while he was making people, giving people wishes.
God, imagine if that's the rating. It's like if a scene is going on too long and you're getting bored, see how many cups of tea you can make fresh off the tap and.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if-
That's how I will rate scenes now. I managed to make 2 cups of tea. It's a bad scene because it took too long. Nah, I'm kidding.
oh my god! Imagine how meta that would be if we were doing that with Chrysalis.
Yeah, because she literally drinking a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Ugh, funny.
Oh, I can't believe it's been 2 years since Chrysalis now.
Just feel like it.
I know, right? Feels like just a few months ago. It's mental.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Just making films.
Yeah, absolutely. But on a more current note, Max's son is making wishes saying, "Come home, Dad."
Yeah. Yeah, that annoys me. He's made a wish. He said, "Come home," and his wish didn't get granted. So what the fuck, man?
Oh,
What's up with that?
so interestingly enough, it's because he already did make the wish. He wished for his greatness.
Oh yeah, he made a wish. Yeah, he already. Yeah.
So
Okay, I'll give it that one. That makes sense now. All right.
oh my god, something that makes
respect
sense.
my
Oh my
anger with
god. Oh, it's like a blessing from the gods.
My God, sense.
Uh, but yeah, like this could have been again. This moment could have been great because it's like, oh, the kid wished for his father's greatness, but now he's getting a bit too great, and it's like, oh, come home, Dad, but he already made his one wish, and it's like, oh, it could have been a heartbreaking moment, but you know, if this was
Yeah.
film was solely about Max Lord, it could have worked, but it's not.
Yeah. No. It's literally like not even. It doesn't give you enough time to even sit with it emotionally. It's just like, "Come home, Dad," and then we
Yeah.
switch to a different scene, and it's like that didn't give me enough time to be even emotionally affected by that scene. And I'm like, I just couldn't help it. I was thinking of Violet Evergarden, and I'm like, that episode that broke me, it did it so much better.
Oh, episode 10.
Yeah, because obviously
Oh.
that's it's sort of in a similar vein of like, I'm sorry, spoilers for anyone who wants to see it, but like basically it is a sad moment where a kid's basically saying that they want their parent to spend more time with them because they're busy making a letter, and they're like, is the letter more important than me and stuff like that, and they literally just hold it for you to sit there and just get heartbroken by this scene, and it makes you cry.
The worst part was the mother was taking it. She wasn't retaliating. She was just taking the
Yeah.
emotional beating the entire time, and we were like, "Oh my god, just oh, oh."
Yeah.
I don't think I could talk about Violet Evergarden on a podcast like this without breaking down.
Oh,
It's just too good, just way too good.
Me and my brother, like, I could just hear my brother next to me going, "Oh, for fuck's sake, stop it!" Like every time, like something happened. Like even at the end of the episode, where it was like, "Oh, she wrote a letter to her, like when she was 8. She's 10 years old now," and every time she aged up, you could just hear my brother going, "For fuck's sake!" It was so funny.
Oh, but it's like it's amazing because like
1 second.
oh yeah, no, of course. Oh, it is just me alone. Oh my, I could say whatever I want and get away with it. But can I be that evil? Well, yeah, like I think what we've basically come to the conclusion of in this moment is that you should watch Violet Evergarden. It's on Netflix and it is very, very, very good. brace yourselves for episode 10. That is all I will say. Because there's a lot more that happens in that episode besides just the letter giving part and the mother spending time part. So, yeah, Violet Evergarden, very, very good. The seal of approval. So, yes, we find ourselves talking about. Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about originally. Max Lord's kid wanting Max to spend more time with him because, oh my god, Daddy's gone a bit haywire. But that is not before we come to the moment where Wonder Woman is coming to the base of operations. And this is a really curious moment because one has to ask themselves, how does she even know where she is? Or where Maxwell Lord is to begin with, because the location is quite classified, don't you think? Oh, hello there, how do you do?
So, just sorting.
Oh, it's
I
quite
can still
alright.
talk right now. He started listening to music to go to bed, and he's like, "There's a song I want to listen to, and I don't know what it is."
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Well, at least I'm hoping you found the song.
I mean, he's looking for it right now. He was like, "Can I borrow your Spotify?" So I could put it on my Spotify. So, okay.
Fair enough. Oh, I'm just gonna quickly change servers because you were starting to break up.
Okay. Have you found it yet?
That should do, I think.
Ooh, we're on US now.
Oh, we're in the US. Mwahaha. Or are we? But I was literally just setting up the next scene, which is Wonder Woman finds the inexplicable island in the middle of somewhere that we don't know how she knew about, where Maxwell Lord is.
Yeah, magically, she just knew.
Like, it's fascinating just how often Diana just finds exactly what it is that she needs in that moment of time so that the plot can move on without seeing any development on, oh, she has to do this, to do this, to do this, to find this out. No, it's just, oh yeah, she just knows, bro. Or Max just kind of drives past her in an Egyptian desert somewhere. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So convenient.
But yeah, in this moment, she completely wrecks the guards who are, protecting the base. Possibly not even of their own free will. But she has no problem beating them up.
Yeah.
Which is kind of in character
Yeah.
with her, beating up the innocent and leaving all the evil people behind. Like, okay.
Pretty much. Sums her up.
Oh my god. And then they keep...
I don't get it because it.
Oh, go on.
Go on. I was just gonna say she stopped Steve from using the gun on people who were under the influence, but now she's beating people up.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
And also, for some reason, Patty Jenkins uses that same shot over and over again of that bullet going down towards the person before it's blocked or something dismal happens with it, and I'm like, alright, variety would be nice. Because this is... Yeah. It's getting a...
You can just see her congratulating herself, like, this is such a cool shot. I'm so happy with it. Use it all the time. Use it in everything. Just like, she directs another film and it doesn't even have guns in it and she puts that shot in.
Oh my god, like, imagine if it's like Sesame Street, the film, and that shot is there.
Oh god.
Like this big ass yellow bird is going, hello everyone, and then all of a sudden a bullet whizzes past. It's like, whoa!
Yeah. Oh dear.
But yeah, she defeats the men quite easily, and then we got Cheetah. Dun dun.
Oh, that's reject.
And this fight is so terrible.
This is the most boring fight I've ever seen in the history of fights. I mean, there's probably more boring fights, but I can't think of them right now.
Yeah, and like from a technical perspective as well, like it's so poorly choreographed. The editing is all over the place because you have no idea where everyone is in relation to everyone else. So many cuts going back and forth. Like you have like 2 or 3 cuts just for one movement, and I'm like, holy shit, is this a J.J. Abrams film or something? But and this fight goes on for a fair bit as well. And considering that she is wearing the all mystical, impregnable armor, Cheetah has no problem just demolishing the thing till nothing is there in terms of her wings.
Yeah, I was like, that was literally just this is a cool costume. I want to keep it in the film, and then they just had Cheetah destroy it. It was just like,
Ooh, and also,
well, there goes that.
also let's not forget about the fact that there's the cool moment where she dislodges the wings in that epic moment.
Yeah. Okay, the wings are gone now.
Yeah.
This shot was really dark as well, and I feel like it was really dark to cover up how bad the CG was for Cheetah.
Oh, that's usually the trick, isn't it? Hide the CGI as much as you can in the cover of night. Like it's really hard to make out what
Yeah.
is happening when it's so dark as well.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't really see much. Like sometimes I have to literally turn the brightness up on my TV to see what's going on and stuff. Because when it's dark shots, they just kind of I just can't see stuff.
Hmm.
And I had to do that with this because I was just like, what is going on? I don't even know. There's bodies flying. That's it.
Absolutely. And we get a George of the Jungle moment where the two of them are swinging on lassos and electric wires. And I love how Diana gives Cheetah a chance of renouncing her wish. And it's either I will save you, but if you only if you renounce your wish. If not, I'm perfectly happy with you getting electrocuted.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And
God
I
damn
was
it,
like, never. I
Diana.
was like, oh, is she? I was like, was she gonna die? And then I was very surprised when she didn't die. She was just electrocuted and left on the floor, and that was that. And I was like, that was a bit naff, though.
Um, it's like, oh, I'm not quite sure that's how it works, but you know what? If you say so, Phil.
No. I'm sure she's supposed to be dead. Like, that would kill someone.
I was
Even
think,
if you are an apex predator, I don't care, that would kill you.
like, I was thinking, oh wow, Diana just killed someone. Jesus.
Yeah.
But it's
That?
also. Oh, go on.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying. I was just basically saying, yeah, that.
And also, Diana's completely unaffected by any of this.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I just electrocuted someone who supposedly was my friend.
While in the water with her.
Ah, well. Yeah, I was like, ah, well. Yeah, it's basically just held her in the water while she got electrocuted. No biggie. It's the usual Tuesday for me.
It's like a Friday afternoon. It's okay. She is alive.
Yeah. I feel like that was just purely because oh Wonder Woman doesn't kill people. I'm like, that's kind of how I feel when I'm playing Batman and I have literally just smashed the guy's face through electronics and they're still just unconscious. I'm like, no, that dude's dead.
Oh my
I
god.
just smashed their head through an electric thing. They're dead.
Legitimately, like one of the biggest experiences of ludonarrative dissonance I've had in a game, aside from like The Last of Us and Tomb Raider, is probably Arkham Knight, where I'm just mowing down people with the
Yeah.
Batmobile, and it's like, oh no, they're just electrocuted, and I'm like, no, they're dead. They are just
Yeah.
dead. Let's not mince words.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't know. I like it. What I kind of like the idea of superheroes killing people because it then means they have to grow, like they have to mentally deal with that, and it just makes them more complex.
yeah, as long as the execution of it is well done.
Yeah,
Like, we'll talk about it when we get to it in the next episode with Man of Steel. But there was something really
yeah.
interesting you could have done with Zod and Superman, but it's just never
Oh
explored
yeah,
to any great detail in any of the films. Just he has the idea of it, and it's like, oh, ideas are fine, but you still got to develop it, bro.
Yeah.
So
I'm fine with them never killing people, but also don't put characters in situations where it's like they're dead, but
yeah.
they're not dead because this superhero doesn't kill people. It's like, no,
Now, if we were to go to
just
something
don't have it
like
in then.
absolutely. Or we can go to something like Marvel, where in Civil War, one mistake ended up costing multiple lives at the start of the film, and we saw the
Yeah.
repercussions of that throughout the film and the
Oh,
rest
yeah.
of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, good writing.
Yeah. The Lagos thing. That even comes up again in like a show later on. It's
Oh, I
like
wouldn't know.
completely separate.
But yeah, like if you execute it in a great way and you take the time to properly develop your points, you can
Yeah.
pull it off really well.
Yeah.
Which is something.
But yeah, so
Go on.
I was just gonna say, but yeah, so Cheetah is not dead, and honestly, the fight between them, what I didn't get any sense of tension or stakes. I was just like, oh, they're just fighting.
I
I
know
was
it's
like,
like
ha, they're having a cat fight.
literal cat
Funny.
fight. But yeah, do you know what? But that actually makes that's a great point to bring up actually, because like, oh, you don't feel any tension, and that's primarily because why are Diana and Barbara fighting in this moment? Like, what is the core thesis of this fight? And you just realize
Yeah.
there is nothing really. Diana is fighting because she is an obstacle, and Barbara is fighting because jealous? Question mark.
Yeah, Barbara's fight because like, you get it so easy, blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, but you got her powers, so now you have no reason to be jealous, and now you're a cat.
Yeah. And it's like, look, if you're gonna be a little pussy about it, don't do it while you're being a pussy, you know? That gives pussies a bad name. Oh. But yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that was a... Oh, go on.
I was like, I could buy the jealousy if they'd set it up better because they didn't really. They just kind of had to say, "Oh, I wish I was popular. I wish I was confident." I'm like, sorry, but like, you know. Just because you
Life.
say it, yeah, everybody has those things. Can you maybe show us that she's a bit, I don't know, a bit more emotionally vulnerable, so she would feel that way or something? I don't know. Instead of just having a throwaway line where she's like, "Oh, I wish I was like you."
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, that would take time and effort though, and we can't be having any
Yeah.
of that.
Like I wish I was Winona Ryder, but you know, I'm not. So
Yeah, I mean, um, I wish I was Carl Urban, you know, but hey, we can't all have what we want.
exactly, I'm not gonna go and turn into a freaking cat over it though.
Absolutely, you know, like just because I can't be Carl Urban doesn't mean I can't be me, you know. It's like fuck it, you know. Gotta make the best of what we got, right?
Exactly.
Uh, although that would be cool though. It's like being Carl Urban for a day, just going around calling
Yeah.
everyone cunt every day, just like full on Billy Butcher mode. But okay, so we are at the climax of the film, where it's Max versus Wonder Woman, and I think this is the most tismic scene in the entire film
Yeah.
because
This bit.
yeah, because Max is holding back Diana with the power of wind, you know, so Max has essentially become an airbender, for lack of a better way of saying it.
Yeah, which she just learned how to use, but apparently now she's just like, oh shit, I forgot how to use the wind.
Oh my god, I didn't even think
The
about
wind
that.
got me.
I didn't even think about that. Holy shit.
She's
Yeah.
not listening to the wind no more. She's just like, oh, I forgot how to do it.
Oh god, yeah. But Max takes off his coat and stands in the middle of the blue beam, talking directly to the people. And you'll
Yeah.
notice,
I I enjoy Pedro Pascal in this scene. He's just so incredibly like clearly into this role.
It's like I'm
I'm like,
having
oh, you poor
fun,
dude. Yeah.
and no one
It's
is
like,
stopping me.
yeah, I'm like, I'm glad you're having fun, dude. I'm glad someone's having fun.
Yeah, like literally, Max carried this film hardcore.
Yeah.
I mean, it
He
helps
was
that
like
he.
the only character that I was even like remotely interested in this film.
I would argue he's the best written character in this film.
Yeah.
Which is not saying much, but
Well, no. He could still do with more development, but he at least gets a tiny bit of development.
yeah, there's a clear story there with Max. It's just a shame that Wonder Woman's in it.
Yeah. Also, like, at this point, I am very confused, like, at his motivations. I'm like, are you doing this for you, Max Lord, or are you now possessed by the stone? It's not very clear, because it's like, haha, I'm granting all these wishes. Okay, why? And I genuinely feel like it's a case of, oh, I don't know, because I can.
Well, I got the day off, so. And
Yeah, like, I
PlayStation's in
don't see the
repair.
reason. Yeah, I don't see the reasons behind what he's doing anymore. Like, I feel like it fell off the. Like, they threw it out the window. Like, at first it was like he wants success, makes sense. And then it's like, what's he doing now?
Yeah, because
Confused.
like, if I were to plot out Max's story so far, it's he wants a good life for his son, then it's he wants success, so losing touch of his core goal, and now he's just gone off the
Yeah.
deep end, and I just don't know what happened between
Yeah.
success and deep end.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what's going on? But that's why it's very confusing. A bit later on. And I'll talk about it when we get to it.
Can't wait. But oh my god, like also, Max is talking about wanting more, proper Wall Street going on here. And I'm talking about the film Wall Street, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Greed is good.
I love that film.
Mwahaha.
So good.
Sequel less so, but you know what? It was fine.
Oh, fair.
But
Oh.
oh my god, like how can you be mad at this face also, which I will send to you now.
Dude's face looking at me this whole time. Oh, that face is wonderful.
Like that's just joy,
That's pure joy and just having fun with being a bad guy. That's how I would be if I was any good at acting.
Like this is him understanding that he is in a bad film and just rolling with it.
He's like, do you know what? I'm gonna have fun with this. It's terrible, it's not gonna do well, but I don't care.
Yeah. And you know how even with Wonder Woman just tossing the rope as hard as she couldn't get anywhere near him. And all of a sudden, it's wrapped around his ankle. And I'm like...
It's like, oh, that was clever. How'd you do that? Can you now teleport, Diana?
Yeah, it's just mad how she managed to sneak the rope without him noticing when there's a tornado surrounding him. And she couldn't get through earlier. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. That. And then she's like, does the big empowering speech and everything. And I'm just like, at this point, this speech.
Okay, so this speech, my word, it's so poorly executed. Right, so this is the second instance of reused, or rather temp tracks. Because this is the exact same song they played during the Wayne murder scene in the alleyway in BVS. So, here's this inspiring, quote-unquote, inspiring moment where Wonder Woman is thinking, yes, this is what we have to do. We have to be ourselves. And in my mind, I'm just thinking of Bruce Wayne's parents being killed in front of him. And Diana asking Bruce Wayne to give up his parents again. Because the truth is beautiful, apparently.
Yeah, the truth is beautiful. And it's like, my wife has cancer. Yeah, but the truth is beautiful. And
yeah, like cancer's beautiful. It's like, fuck off.
I'm like, I am like, lady, sometimes the truth is not. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't hear the truth, but I'm saying it's not beautiful. Sometimes, when somebody actually goes, I've been lying to you this whole time, that's not beautiful. That's kind of soul destroying a little bit.
And also, like, you've got the various sayings, like the ugly truth, the truth hurts, and stuff like that,
Yep.
because it does, if you're being really blunt about it.
Yeah.
Whereas this film, the
Yeah,
truth
it
is
does.
beautiful. It's like, is it though? There's a reason why lies
It,
exist.
it Yeah, I mean, it can be, but a lot of the time, some people will lie because they really don't want to hurt the other person with the truth because they know that the truth is not going to be beautiful to them. It's going to be very like someone finds out their partner, like someone's best friend finds out that the partner is cheating on them, and the best friend's then like, shit, I've got to tell them. Like, the truth is not going to be beautiful then, is it?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! You bringing up that example, and because you've watched Violet Evergarden, I can use this example. Episode 1, Hodgkins going to see Violet and him having to tell her that Gilbert is dead. That example.
And it doesn't. Yeah,
How greatly executed is that scene? And I'm like,
so good.
oh my god, like,
Oh,
it's mental though. It's like, and it's weird because the entire time it's like, the beginning is about the. Let's go all the way back to the beginning, the Amazon
yeah,
Olympics. Like, okay,
yeah,
what Princess Bride is telling her is, oh, you need to tell the truth, but the moral of the action is don't cheat. And
yeah.
here,
So like you're equating cheating with lying.
exactly, and over here, the crux of the argument here in this film so far has been don't cheat. But here she's saying don't lie. This is a
Yeah,
complete misunderstanding of what you are showing and what you are saying.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it could have been, I don't know, something like you can't just wish for things instead of the truth is beautiful because it's like, no, it isn't.
Or
I
maybe
mean, what you're saying is,
or maybe even something like you gotta earn what you want rather than take the easy road or something.
yeah,
Um,
that's what it should have been, not the truth is beautiful because the whole thing of the setup at the start was don't cheat, not don't lie. Because if Diana had gone, but I didn't take a shortcut, then that's Diana lying.
yeah.
And then they could have been like, you shouldn't be lying. That could have been a thing, but instead it was you cheated. They already knew she cheated. But if she'd have actually tried to lie about it, they could have been like, we know you're lying. You need to tell the truth.
See, that would have actually set up
It
this
could have
arc.
been. It would have made more sense because then it would have been like, oh, you need to tell the truth. She
Absolutely.
learned, but it's like no, it's like no, just truth is all there is.
Um, you've seen The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, right?
Long time ago, but yeah, I
But
liked it.
do you remember it was the very opening scene, but a guy walks on stage and he has the choice, take the long way all the way to the top or get a beer right to the left.
Oh yeah,
Like that's essentially what this film was showing. It's like, oh,
yeah,
it's the hard route, but it's the rewarding route rather than there's the
yeah,
easy route, but the destructive route. That's what the film has been
yeah,
showing all this time. But the message, apparently, according to what the characters are telling us, is lying is bad, truth is good. And I'm like,
yeah,
guys, the fuck?
yeah. It's like, okay, that came out.
Oh.
And then I thinking, well, he's possessed by a stone now, so he's not going to listen to you. He's just going to be this. He's just going to keep granting people wishes or somehow trying to make them wish. And, everyone's gone down. Or I was like, you're going to have to kill him to
Yeah,
get him to stop. Basically, that's what I was thinking. And I was like, oh God, he's going to have to kill a person and that's going to mess with her. But that's just me wanting a better movie.
I was thinking the same thing as well, because if we go back to the Indian Mayan dude, it's like every single civilization. Oh no, Barbara even when she was saying every single civilization that this stone has touched has collapsed instantaneously, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
so we're seeing this effect through a person now, with Max Lord being
Yeah.
the
The
fucking
literal, because
catalyst. And it's like,
yeah.
oh,
Also, he
oh, go on.
also he wished to be the stone, so that's what made me think he is becoming the stone. Like he's losing his humanity. That's what I thought it was
Yeah.
trying to say.
So Diana would have to wrestle between, okay, I can kill the person and save the world, or I can let the
Yeah.
person live and destroy the world.
It would have become a trolley problem then,
Exactly, yeah. But they
and
like
that would have been really interesting.
they very much expertly avoided the trolley problem by not addressing it.
Yeah.
Oh my
But then
god.
we're left thinking, is he the stone or is he a human now? Because I don't understand his goals anymore. And then somehow this speech works, and I'm like, yeah, what about the people who wished not to be poor? What about the people who wish not to be ill anymore? Stuff like that. And it's just like, they're not gonna want to take their wish back no matter how much you go, the truth is beautiful, because to them, they're like, well, I refuse, I don't want the truth.
Yeah.
Take it back. That's what I would be like, personally. Like, if I wished for something, I'd probably wish not to have fibromyalgia anymore because it causes me a lot of pain. And if Diana was like, the truth is beautiful, I'd be like, actually, the truth is something that has a really bad effect on my life. No, thank you.
It's
Keep
actually
it.
quite painful, Diana. You might not know this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's mental just how wonderfully this film misses its target. Like, you know
Yeah.
that those instances where, someone is bowling and he doesn't even get in the same lane, he gets it like 3 lanes over somehow. Like, that's what this film is.
Yeah. It's just like, what the heck? Oh, and then it somehow magically works because she talks about Max Lord's son, and I was like, that could be really heartbreaking scene because she could be trying to talk about the son, and he's just like, I don't give a shit because I'm a stone now.
Yeah, but that would require consistency. But also,
Yeah.
we get a really weird montage here with Max Lord at home with an abusive parent and him
Yeah.
being bullied in school and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my god, character. I mean,
Yeah. Um,
2 hours and
I
20
found it
minutes
a bit
in,
weird that we
but
were getting it now. Yeah. I was like, we could have had this earlier on, and it would have added way more to his character, and we probably would have felt much more sorry for him than we do right now. Because right now, I kind of don't feel sorry for him.
yeah, like imagine if like
He's
we saw
crossed
this
World
at
War III at this point.
like imagine if this was the film. This is Max's film and no one else was in it. We got a kid from a broken household with an abusive parent that studies hard, gets a good education, oh, opens up his own firm, all for his son, gets power hungry because of the stone. Like, there's a great story here with Max. It's just a shame
Yeah.
that Wonder Woman is in this film. Because if she's
Yeah.
not, there's a good film here. Oh.
Definitely. Oh dear. But then it's like, your son wouldn't want this, blah 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 blah, and he's like, oh yeah, you're right, I should maybe. Oh, there was a funny thing I saw. I was watching a video by, I think it's a YouTuber called The Closer Look, and he basically did a parody of like basically Wonder Woman saying, your son lives on Earth, and he's like, but I want to wipe out all humanity, and then she's like, but your son is part of humanity, and then he kind of just goes, son, humanity, son. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I don't want my son to die, and it was just so funny, and I'm like, that's just pretty accurate to be fair.
And better than this film.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a closer look
But yeah,
video in a while, now that I think about it.
I only just found him, but yeah, the video on this is really funny.
Cool, cool. But you know what? We're less than 10 minutes away. So, you know what?
Yay.
It's great that we get a character's backstory 10 minutes from the end of a 2.5 hour film.
Yeah.
But,
I'm gonna send you the link to the video
wonderful.
because it is funny.
But yeah, extensive montage of nukes being fired like in Terminator and the sun in a post-apocalyptic hellscape just trying to survive. And Max thinks, oh, this might actually not be a good thing. So decides to renounce his wish and therefore negate everyone's wish that he has granted.
Yeah.
And he just does a Homer Simpson and goes whoop 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 and runs away.
And runs away. I was like, dude, you barely started World War III. You get back here and go to jail. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, thank you for bringing it up, because he has no consequences in this film.
I know. I was like, I think he's the only guy in this film that doesn't get consequences for stuff he does.
Yeah, because, like, these things happen because the remnants of it are all there, so where's the consequence?
Yeah. And then he's like, again, I'll refer to the closer look video. He's like, this is how it goes down. He goes, hey, you, who's not under my control anymore. Would you mind giving me a chopper and taking me to find my son, who's conveniently in a field nearby?
Legit. But before he goes to meet his son, we get to see Barbara one last time before the film ends. And for all we know, she's still in that island.
She's just chilling. I don't even think she renounced her wish. I think it was just he renounced all the wishes. So she doesn't even get to be redeemed, in my opinion.
No, she doesn't. And for all we know, she still has Diana's power.
She might even still hate Diana and probably still want to kill her, so I was like, are we gonna get Cheetah back? Is that what you're trying to imply? She's gonna come back?
That's the trilogy there. Cheetah's gonna be the third part of this illustrious set of films.
Yeah. I feel like they could have just had her start dressing as a cheetah. Because she suggests that she likes animal print, or she sees animal print on Diana's shoes, and I was like, that could have like been an inspiration of I'm gonna dress like a cheetah because cheetahs are confident apex predators. I don't know. She could be seen to have like an obsession with apex predators or something. So earlier on, that would have made more sense to me.
So basically, like what Michelle Pfeiffer did in Batman Returns, you know.
Kinda, yeah.
A good film.
Yeah, kinda.
Oh,
she has an obsession with cats, doesn't she? So she's just like, well, actually, she's saved by cats. That's what.
No, she always treated the cats by her really well because she fed them to begin with, and then the cats saved her.
So she did like. So yeah, cats are a big integral. She likes cats, so it makes sense. So like. That's why it didn't make sense to me. Why did she suddenly go, I want to be an apex predator? Like, if she had been shown to, like, I don't know, have some kind of connection with cheetahs, that might have helped it a bit more. Well, and instead of CG, maybe... you could have just had her dressed like a cheetah instead of actually turning her into a cheetah. That would have saved you time and money, film.
So this is just a ham-fisted way of doing it, but maybe when her and Dan are hanging out, instead of them having dinner in a restaurant, maybe they say, hey, do you know what, we're always stuffy inside, let's go to the zoo down the road or something like that. And Diana could be Barbara could be like, oh look, I love cheetahs, or so. Like, it's a very raw, unrefined idea, but at least that would set something up.
Yeah, instead of the bloody animal print roar.
It's like that Katy Perry song. It's like Eye of the Tiger. Was it Eye of the Tiger? No, it's not Eye of the Tiger. It's like Raw. Is that the name of the song?
Yeah, it's Raw. I think it is. I know the one you mean because it goes like, "You're gonna hear me."
Yeah. I've got the eye of the tiger.
Yeah, that one.
I am less than pleased that I remember the tune, but it was on the radio so much back then. My God, you couldn't get away from it.
It was seared into my brain.
It's like
and I was very much in my emo, like super emo phase where I was like, pop music can just go to hell.
And then there's like you're hot and you're cold, you're yes and that was in the radio so much as well.
That was everywhere. Yeah.
Now that we've
Oh dear.
talked about Katy Perry, who just only in what we watch do you get these kind of tangents.
Yeah, just Katy Perry just popped up in. Yeah, again, I just don't get it. The obsession with animal print shoes is not even an obsession. She just comments on a person's shoes that one time, and it's like,
Yeah, it's very
okay,
poorly
she
set up
commented on the
everything.
shoes. Yeah, she also basically shits on people who wear heels in that moment. Like, I get you can't wear heels, lady, but don't be having a go at people who can just because you're jealous.
Not everyone can wear all types of shoes, so
Yeah.
take what you can get, bro.
I was like, if you don't want to wear heels, you don't have to. Shocking, I know.
It's almost like you have a choice.
Choice.
But yeah, I love the fact that Max is able to find his little gremlin just coming out of a bush. I'm just like,
Yeah.
fucking hell,
It's like,
film.
oh, he's there. I was like, he was in a road. How did he know where the president's house was?
How did he?
'Cause
How did Max know that that's where the kid was, and how did the kid know that's where he needed to be? Like, there are so many questions.
like, I know there was a bit where he's like, I can see my son. I was like, okay.
But it's in the highway,
But,
which is a
like,
different place.
yeah, but also then you've renounced your wish, so you shouldn't have all these all-seeing powers anymore. So you shouldn't know where your kid is.
Amongst other
Those powers
things.
gone now. Yeah.
And how is everyone
like-
just chill? How is the president's chopper just kind of chill with giving him a lift back?
Yeah. I was like, how did they not just arrest him on sight and be like, you endangered the president by basically getting World War III to start?
You are a
You're
war
under
criminal.
arrest. Yeah, you have broken many things. You are basically a terrorist.
It
Then
is.
again, that kind of resonates with real life because terrorism did happen towards the White House and nothing got done about it. So, you know. I guess
God.
right.
Life imitating art, or is it the other way around?
I think it might. I don't know. This came out before that, so I would say they just pretty much guessed. But yeah, I don't get how nobody just immediately tried to arrest him when they were not under his control anymore.
Exactly, like cause and effect in this film is just
Yeah.
not a thing that exists.
Like, I could understand if he went, "Can I please find my son first?" and they found the son, and then he got arrested. I'd be like, okay, I can
mean-
get with that because that's emotional. It's kind of like, please, my son isn't with anybody right now. He's alone. That would be kind of like, oh, okay, I'll let you find your son, and then you have to come back and get arrested, or I will come with you and then I will arrest you afterwards. Something like that. I don't know.
Imagine if this was somewhat realistic and, like the community is putting itself back together and the son's in protective custody and the dad is arrested, and you can have a whole other sequel where it's just the two of them trying to reconnect with each other because they got to go through the legal system because Max kind of nearly ended the world. Like, the more I think about the possibilities, the more I'm disappointed we got this film. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. It's really sad when a film has potential and it's just kind of
Mm.
not meeting its potential, and I'm like, this is where it's kind of like, it's quite interesting as well because it sounds like the studio didn't get to really be in control of this movie, so it's very much more disappointing because it's like, I had hopes for Patty Jenkins because I'd heard good things, and I was just like, oh, she just didn't make a good movie. And I was like, the depressing thing is, if anyone tries to criticize her, she'll probably hide under, "You're being sexist." Because that's the vibe I'm getting from this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like.
And that upsets me because it's like, no, you should be able to criticize her film because it is poorly made, objectively. Even if you like the film, I'm sorry, but it's not a well-made film.
Yeah,
It has all the rookie mistakes of screenwriting that you get taught not to do.
And this is an 8-hour conversation about this film, and like 4 or 5 things have been good.
Yeah. And
So,
again, potential has been wasted, and she fought really hard to keep two scenes that do nothing for the story. And I am very confused.
yeah.
And
And
I'm like, you have absolutely have the right to fight for scenes in your movie, but I was just like, the reasons to cut them out outweigh the reasons to keep them in.
absolutely, wholeheartedly agree with you there. I mean, this kind
Yeah,
of reminds me of, do you know Michael Cimino? He did Deer
I
Hunter.
don't. I've heard of Deer Hunter. I've not watched it though.
That's cool. It's not related to Deer Hunt. It's related to his immediate next film, which was,
Okay.
fucking Heaven's Gate, and it was in the
Okay.
80s with United Artists, and he was like very particular about everything, so much so to the point that they were well over budget, well over time, and everything like that. And every time a producer came over and
Yeah.
said, "Hey, we gotta finish this thing. You're taking too long. You're overstuffing the film with things that are unnecessary." He just, because he won the Oscar for Best Director for Deer Hunter, he just shoved the Oscar there and said, "I want that," and he'd win the argument
Oh
because of
God.
it. And that's what I felt
Yeah.
was happening here because Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
the first one was the highest rated, made a lot of money, so
Oh yeah.
lot
So
of
she's
pull.
absolutely gone, yeah, she's like, I made you money, so you have to do what I say, basically. And I'm just like, oh, I hate it when filmmakers do that because it's like, yeah, you won an Oscar. It doesn't mean you're magically brilliant and that you can't have bad films.
A bad day in the office can happen to everyone. Just look at Steven
Of
Spielberg. He's got a few
course.
too.
Yeah. Oh, like I watched Ready Player One and I was like, I don't feel like his heart was in that movie.
Yeah, I think even he was like, yeah, I was doing Ready Player One, but at the same time I was doing The Post, and that's the one I really wanted to do. So I'm like, oh, at least you're honest, Steve.
Yeah. I then went and looked up the book and I was like, oh, to be fair, the main character's not very likable.
Oh, I've not read it or seen it, so I wouldn't know.
I mean, read it, but I like learned about it because I was just interested, and I was just like, oh no, this character sounds like an absolute dick. I don't vibe.
Fair, fair. I have
But
zero
I
interest in that property, so I don't really care.
yeah, that's fair. I enjoyed parts of the film mostly because reference, haha, nostalgia, stuff like that, and I was like, I feel
Yeah.
like that's what it was going for. But apparently, the book is literally just the author being like, look at all these 80s references I know, and just listing them. And I'm like, yeah, I have no interest in reading that.
Oh, fair.
It's
Oh.
basically like toxic fandom gatekeeping the novel.
Oh God. Well, fair enough.
But yeah, the point behind that was even Steven Spielberg can make a movie, clearly not really be wanting to make the movie, and it can be bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Um,
So you can't just be like, I won an Oscar or I made you lots of money, therefore I am God. Just stop it.
yeah, what's baffling is that, like, uh, when I listen to Patty Jenkins' interviews as well, it's like, oh, it's like working with a character that can stand up for, things that are going wrong in the world is something that I can really get behind. And I'm like, so any superhero, period.
Also, she claims to be a fan of Wonder Woman, and then kind of changes Wonder Woman. I was a bit like, what? If you're a fan of Wonder Woman, it feels like you're completely ignoring some of the source material sometimes.
Never mind the source material. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of what Wonder Woman is. Like, okay,
Also, yeah,
you know Frank Miller, right?
I don't know much about it. Yeah,
The guy who
yeah,
did
I do.
The Dark Knight Returns, but he did
Yep.
All Star Batman and Robin, which is very bad. But the point
Hmm.
is,
Yeah.
he did a really bad take on Wonder Woman in those set of comics, and I
Oh.
was like, do you know what? That Wonder Woman is kind of in line with this because that was a very I hate men kind of thing going on as well.
Yeah. To use
So,
Wonder Woman to be like, I hate men, I find it really disappointing because it's just like that is so detrimental because you get people who are like, oh, literally like I've had people go to me, because I've put in my bios of things that I'm feminist, and I've had people go, "Are you like one of them men hating feminists?" And I'm like, I get really annoyed when people say that because I'm like, no, I don't hate men. I very much like men. I like men and women,
like,
and
that's the
I'm just
thing.
kind of like, "Ugh,
It is very much a
that's not.
shame because, as a result of the 1% of really outspoken, loud, obnoxious group, the entire group gets a bad rap.
It's like vegans. They get the same problem.
It's like being brown. If you're brown, you're a
It's.
terrorist.
Do you
Holy
know
shit.
what? It's it's most. Do you know what? It's most minorities. It's like, oh, they bad. And it's
Yeah.
just like, it makes me angry that that's been done because it's just like, you had an opportunity to, if you want to, like, have a feminist conversation there, but instead you've completely made it about hating men, and I'm just like, why? That didn't need to be there. It doesn't add anything. It doesn't make Wonder Woman look very good either.
No, especially when she's behaving like the villain of the film. Because let's think
Yeah.
about it. What does Max really want to do? Protect his son, make sure he has a good life, success for himself, so personal ambition, and granting people wishes. Which is kind of
Yeah.
wholesome in some ways. And what does Wonder Woman want to do? Take all that away. So technically, Wonder Woman's the
Yeah.
villain of this film.
Yeah, basically. And then you
Oh,
have most of the men that are side characters are all like trying to rob banks, trying to attack women, basically eyeing women up. And it's like,
to an absurd degree.
yeah, it's like, okay, I can see why you've put it in. I get it. Like one scene of that, I mean, fine. Like because I get it. These things happen. It's not something to be ignored. But also, why are you putting it in a superhero movie? People don't watch superhero movies to be like bashed over the head with look, the patriarchy is bad. Or if you want to do that, can you at least show us some positive ways you can challenge the patriarchy rather than I hate men because it doesn't it doesn't fix it.
Yeah, but it's easier to just say I hate men, though.
Yeah, it annoys me because it's just like you don't need to do that. You could still have feminist ideals put in your film and not hate on men.
Like Alien or Terminator.
Exactly.
Good films.
Alien is like one of my favorite movies, and I would just be like, everyone should watch it.
uh, oh, do you know what? Kind of unrelated, but if you find it, I'd say look out for it because it's really cool. Because I used it as a reference on one of my Enola Holmes videos, and there's an
Cool.
anime called Arte, and it's about
Okay.
a young Italian girl in Renaissance Italy wanting to be a painter, and most
Cool.
of it is because painting at the time was a very male-oriented profession with very few women, so she had to
Yeah.
go through a lot, but with every challenge she overcame, she gained the people's respect. And so much so to the
Yeah.
point that when she was being attacked for being a woman, the men would stand behind her and say, "Look, you fuck off." And it was so
Yeah.
cool
That's
because
awesome.
she earned every single victory and she got supporters behind her, men and women alike. And it's just so cool to see a story like that. And it's only 12 episodes, so you'll be
Nice.
done in an afternoon.
Ooh, I will definitely give that a watch.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say, Alien, a movie about an alien that goes around eating people, did a better job than this movie on feminist issues. Go figure.
I was listening to an interview with Helen Mirren because she auditioned for Ellen Ripley way back in the day. And she was like, yeah, like the character names and the descriptions and the way it was written, um, a man or a woman could have played any of the roles. It just so happened that they got the best people for the
Yeah,
role. And I was like, holy shit, that was
yeah.
cool.
Like
Remember?
Ripley was supposed to be a guy originally, and they changed it to Sigourney Weaver.
Because they got the
Was it
best
Sigourney
person for the
Weaver? Yeah, it
role.
was. Exactly. And she did wonderfully in that role, and it's so good. I'm just every time I watch Alien, I'm just so happy.
When 70s casting took more care than modern day casting.
It just makes me laugh whenever it just makes me laugh whenever it's like, nah, we're not gonna listen to you, and I'm like, hey, you're all gonna die, and it's great.
Uh, but yeah, the very next scene, we get Harry back, our hero, because
Oh,
it's
also, we never see Maxwell Lord again after he hugs his son. That's all we get. That's the end.
oh yeah, that's
The end of Maxwell.
like he could be arrested, he could be at home enjoying a ginger martini. We don't know. That's it. He got his son back.
We never know. It's just he got his son. He promises to be better now. The end. Christmas.
Yeah, and then we get to see handsome guy, the wonderful Harry back on screen, and it's just so wholesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we get Wonder Woman fucking ogling him.
Just hardcore hitting on him, and he's just like, oh.
And at this point, I legit threw my headphones down and walked away and was like, I need a cup of tea.
And it's like hardcore flirting with Harry, and Harry's like, oh, why are you acting this way? Anyway, goodbye.
Yeah, bye bye now.
So this scene,
I was like, oh, she's being so creepy right now. Stop it.
this scene kind of confirms that for those couple of days, Harry was just kind of taken out of commission. Like he had no
Just
idea what was
unconscious.
going on.
He basically had a blackout, and I'm like, that just makes the whole situation worse.
Absolutely. And then he's just so wholesome, He's like, it's snow.
Yeah.
There's people. You complimented me. Thank you. I'm off. Bye.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think they literally did this because he's known for Hallmark Christmas movies. So they were like, we gotta
legit, yeah.
capitalize on this and make it Christmas.
and shocking. He's the best part about the scene if you take Wonder Woman out of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, are you trying to imply that the next Wonder Woman sequel is gonna be a Hallmark Christmas movie instead about Wonder Woman falling in love? Because honestly, I probably would watch that over this movie.
Oh, do you know what? If the next Wonder Woman film is just fucking Max Lord and his son trying to get back together legally, and Harry being their attorney or something like that, which is a bit of a change in career, but if it's between the three of them, I'd be so down to watch this Wonder Woman film without Wonder Woman.
He was just like, I'm gonna be a lawyer because reasons, but I'd just accept it. I'd be like, you do what you do, you, Harry. You deserve it. You've been through some shit.
Actually, what if Harry adopts Max's son through welfare, and Max has to... Oh my god, there's a film there.
So wholesome.
And then
I
Max
love how
is
we just want to give Harry a good film. We just want to give him his time.
His time in the sun. That's what he needs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, they're making the Wonder Woman glare at him like he's a piece of meat. I was like, what are you trying to say? You've literally spent the whole movie going, look how horrible men are to women. They just objectify us. It's horrible. And then there you are objectifying a man. And I was just like, oh, the hypocrisy.
yeah, I mean, see, here's the thing. It's okay to hate men, and it's okay to objectify men, but it's never okay the other way around. That is the rule.
No, clearly not.
I mean, not in the real world, but,
Patty
at least it
Jenkins,
shouldn't be.
Patty Jenkins, you need to sort yourself out, seriously. Just stop filmmaking for a while. Go and figure out why you are like this. Fix yourself and then come back and try again. I'd laugh if she ever watches this, because it'll just be like, oh, these people hate me. No, we don't. We just hate your film.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you could be the nicest person in the world. I don't know you.
I'm sure you are.
But
yeah,
your work sucks at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, what happened
Sort
to
it
you?
out.
Like, did she go through a really bad breakup between Wonder Woman and Monster? I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I've been through bad breakups though, and it didn't affect my filmmaking ability. At least I don't think it did.
I mean, you were fine with Chrysalis, so...
There you go.
Like, you were kind of a voice of reason on that set, so hey, kind of.
Oh my god, I appreciate you saying that because people I've worked with in the past have just been adamant that I am the worst. So, like, yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, because like the ending for Chrysalis was very different, and wasn't it you and Alyssa that said, yeah, it's better if we take it a different direction? Like, wasn't it the two of you
Yeah,
that mentioned that? So yeah, voice of reason, and it ended up being a better film. So hey,
yeah. It's a good film. I am proud of that one.
hey.
I'm proud of us. We did it good.
Yeah, we had the longest film of our class, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we did actually.
Yeah, by a good 2 minutes as well. We were like, because we're awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, we're not averse to taking a long time with anything.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's in our
I
blood.
mean, yeah, we talked about this. Clearly, we like to take our time. To be fair, these are literally unedited conversations that you can
Absolutely.
either choose to listen to or not, so we
Yeah.
make no apologies.
Oh. But
I
yeah.
can't believe we talked about this for so long, though.
Oh yeah, me too. Like, we've never spoken about
It's
anything
great.
for this long.
Uh, I really hope that, like, Man of Steel doesn't take this long, or, Batman versus Superman might take longer because there's so many issues with it.
And plus,
But,
it's 3 hours. So
yeah. So are we just stopping at Batman versus Superman, or are we actually gonna watch like Suicide Squad?
um, so what I was hoping to do was get at least Batman v Superman done before Justice League comes out on the 18th.
Oh, so we can talk about Justice League.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And after
Oh
that,
my god, that movie is gonna be 4 hours long. I'm gonna need to watch that in bits.
I know, I'm probably gonna just have a bottle,
Like,
empty bottle next to me, like 4 cups of tea in a thermos,
yeah.
and then just like, right, I'm ready.
I'm just gonna watch it an hour at a time or something like that.
Yeah, make your own miniseries. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Like,
But
episode one today, episode two, yes.
but yeah, after that, rather than doing like 4 or 5 nights in a week, just let's just take as many weekends as it takes with whatever guest we have at the time, and just talk through it for until we need to stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Because I reckon this is really wearing on people's stamina as well, doing like 2 or 3 a week.
Yeah. It's kind of it's mentally exhausting when you're talking about the same thing repeatedly throughout the week. But if we didn't do it throughout the week, it'd be like an 8 hour video. And yeah, no, thank you.
But yeah,
Also, we have uni and jobs and stuff, so
oh yeah, life
it's just not
outside of
feasible, is it?
YouTube.
Yeah. Also, I'm not sure, but I think we might actually have to physically go into university soon.
Oh shit, really?
Because they're sending schools back, and they said schools and colleges. My brother found out he's got to go all the way back to Ormskirk because he's at Edge Hill,
Oh
and
shit.
they're like, yeah, you've got to come back to it because he's been doing online learning from home, so he's been back with my mum and dad, and they've just like basically said to him this week, you have to come back to work. So he's like, what? I'm moving again.
Oh shit, wow.
So we
We'll
don't
have the
have to
rest
do
of that conversation off stream, by the way.
it.
Um, but yeah, just to finish off, we end the film with her flying and with a brief cameo by Linda Carter, the original Wonder Woman, doing her Wonder Woman
I didn't
things.
actually, yeah, I didn't actually see that because I was like, I'm done with this movie, and then I found out later there was an end credits, and I was like, "Do you know what? I'll just look it up on YouTube."
Yeah, it's a bit of a wholesome homage to Linda Carter, so
It's kind of sweet.
yeah, I don't have any issues with it. Right.
It's like a hint that she's gonna come back in the next one, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I
Whatever
assumed.
Patty Jenkins wants, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway, this fucking trash fire is over. Woohoo!
Yes, and it
And
only
I
took us
never
8
have to look
hours.
at it again. Yeah, and I shan't be watching this film again.
Oh, never again. You know that Kelly Clarkson song,
No,
Never
sorry.
Again?
Yeah.
Like that's what
Never
I. Will
again.
I love you never again? Yes, I know a lot of songs from back in the day. Well,
I like
fucking
Kelly Clarkson and I don't care who knows it.
God, when was that? 2008. Kelly Clarkson as well. You know when she was still kind of rock.
Yeah. Oh, I have seen her rapping as well. She is amazing.
Right. So I think I kind of know the answer, but between the two films we've talked about so far, Wonder Woman and WoW 84, which is better?
Wonder Woman 1 by
Like a hair.
like just yeah, but like mainly because that one at least had somewhat of a coherent narrative, somewhat like very
Like most of it still doesn't make sense,
in
but it was
comparison.
slightly better put together.
Yeah, and it at least had some somewhat cool set pieces like when she was fighting, it was kind of like, oh, I'm not bored.
Yeah.
Like in
Um,
this one, she doesn't really fight anyone very much, and honestly, the desert scene, I wasn't really that invested. I was just bored, and I was also a little bit like, they're just straight up putting this guy's life in danger.
it's incredibly poorly constructed, the second one, in terms of
Yeah.
action and narrative. But if I were to say objectively, which is worse, Wonder Woman 84, but I think Max Lord is the most entertaining character out of both of them.
Yeah, they weren't really very
Oops, sorry, you cut out there.
entertaining. I was just saying, yeah,
Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on.
entertaining.
Let's go to Singapore.
We're going
Okay.
on holiday.
Very fast as well. So what were you
Super
saying?
fast. No, I was just saying, like, yeah, there's not really that many interesting characters in the first movie. Even Steve's not really that interesting. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best part about it, but that doesn't mean he's
Yeah.
interesting.
Like, yeah,
Again,
Chris Pine is nice to look at.
yeah,
That's something.
he does very well with what he's given. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Also, Gal Gadot is nice to look at.
Oh my God, Gal Gadot, just
Just unfortunately, the character she's playing is just kind of not very interesting. The only time
yeah.
I found Wonder Woman interesting was in Batman vs Superman. And go figure, she's not even in that movie very long. That's
No,
probably why.
she's in like. Oh, I'm gonna have to watch it again actually because I can't remember much of it anymore. But
In the like third act, I think, if I remember.
where she's in significantly in a succession of scenes. Yeah, it's in the third act. I know that much.
Yeah. Oh, she does briefly appear at like the museum.
Yeah, like there are multiple scenes with her, but sparse is the word I would use.
But yeah, I'm talking about like scenes where she's actually Wonder Woman because like in those scenes, obviously she's not in full gear and she's not doing Wonder Woman things.
Yeah, it's more Diana being Diana.
Yeah. But when she like joins up in the third act, I'm like, oh heck, that's cool. I like this, and I was excited for the new Wonder Woman, and then I never got around to watching it, and then I watched it now, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't watch it in the cinema, to be honest.
Yeah, once again, Wonder Woman, midnight screening. I was there among the first, and
I'll take.
I think it really informed. Watching Wonder Woman again and talking about it really informed just how much the way I look at media has changed over the years.
Yeah. I feel like I'm a
So,
lot more like critical of things now when I'm watching them than I used to be because I used to just watch things like there are a ton of movies which are like if I watched them again now I'd be like I really don't like this movie but when I was younger I was like oh this movie's good
yeah,
when
absolutely.
it's
And
not.
I think it's a good thing because if you're being critical towards the film, then A, it shows you care. Because I
But yeah.
approach it much like a sports fan does, where, you know, you support it as much as you can while you're watching it because you want it to be good. But if you're not
Yeah.
good, you will know about it.
Oh yeah. That's completely fair. And
So,
also I'm like, yay, I'm getting character development.
yeah, it's something to latch on to. Who would have thought?
Yeah. sometimes I just like talk in filmmaking terms, and Ryan's like, "Oh my god, you're such a filmmaker." Yeah, I know.
Ugh, you fucking
It's
nerd.
great.
Oh my god. Like, who else but a fucking film nerd would actually spend 8 hours talking about a single fucking film?
Sometimes like we like films or something. I
Yeah.
mean, you could argue, do you like films really? Because you talk about films that you really don't like, but it's like those are the most interesting to talk about because it's like, why are they bad? How could they be improved?
Yeah. And plus, like, we've talked a lot about things we like as well. Bly Manor.
Oh yeah, Bly Manor is super good. Do you know what? I feel like rewatching it. I think I might just rewatch it to go to bed today.
Oh my.
I
Let me know
say
how it
that,
goes.
but then I'll end up. I say that, but then I'll stay awake to watch it, so it might be a bad idea actually.
Let me know when you finish Violet Evergarden, because I would love to
I
talk to you about
will.
it.
Oh, I will. We could have a Discord call about it if you want,
Yeah,
like off
sure.
stream.
I don't mind.
Are we still on stream, by the way? I forgot.
Oh yeah, we are still recording. We
Oh
haven't
yeah.
said goodbye
Hello,
yet.
everybody.
Going off in our
I
personal
forgot to say
lives.
goodbye. You get some behind the scenes. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, being casual.
But yeah, I will let you know when I finish it.
Cool, cool. And we'll get David to watch it as well, and then we'll all talk about it
And
just
then we'll
casually.
cry. And we'll all talk about it, and then
Then just talk about which scene made you cry the most.
yeah. How many times did you cry during this series? How much did it destroy you?
Oh my god, legit. Like, the first time I watched it, um, 11 of the 13 episodes broke me. And then,
Oh
second time I
no.
watched it, 12 of the 13 did.
Oh no.
Oh, it's so good though. Like, just watch Violet Evergarden instead of this, man. Just, that's my
Yeah, just
recommendation.
yeah.
Watch Violet Evergarden.
That's mine too. If you want a good story, and if you like anime, and if you don't mind crying a little bit, or if you need a cry,
Yeah.
I'll highly recommend it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you everyone for listening to our conversation
Thank you.
about Wonder Woman 84. Hope you had fun.
Yep.
It's the most I can hope
You
for.
guys, you guys have so much patience, whoever is watching these videos, and I'm pretty sure you're not watching it all the way through, but even still, thank you.
I know. If you do watch it up until this point, write cookie in the comment section. Ah.
Yep. And then you will get cookies at some point, somehow, when we're not all grounded, if you want.
Or a Crisp Pie 5.
It's high five, yeah, that's probably also gonna have to wait till we're not all grounded.
Yeah. But I think the point is, thank you everyone for watching, and
Yes.
I hope you have a great rest of the week wherever you are. So take care and cheerio.
Yep. Bye bye now.